Inside this town in Nigeria, there's a special graveyard where some important Europeans to Britain have been buried for over 100 years. Who are these white men? Who killed them? Why were they killed and buried in this town? This graveyard has been kept for over a century to preserve this story for generations to come and educate people about our history. This story plays a very vital role in the history and creation of Nigeria, so watch this video to learn more about our history in the Niger Delta and get answers to some of these questions.
Enough space here?
Yeah, there's space in the car now. Guys, we are approaching the white man's grave.
Like,
yeah,
to do something.
Daniel,
yeah.
This is the place now.
Yes.
But it's now fenced. This is the white man's grave, guys. This is where the white men were buried in Brazil. Yeah? But it's fenced now. The structure has been changed a little bit, you know. So we're going to try to go inside. Let's see what we can shoot here with drone shots, and you know, I'm telling you more story about the history. Hi, it's Chrisonda Art here again, and today I'm telling you guys a very, very important history about the people of Nembe and Braz. I'm currently in the capital of Braz, local government area of Bayelsa State, which is Tuan Braz, and we are in Adama. And in Adama here, there's so much history, there's so much you can learn about the people. You know, I keep saying that Niger Delta is not only about militancy, crime, you know, oil spillage and all those negative things that are in the media, but there's so much culture, so much history, so many things that you need to learn about our people, and they are here and you can come and learn them. This is a tourist center, so much of our history is there, so you can come over and come and learn that. But today I'm going to give you briefly about the story behind this place that we're in. This is the white man's grave. Stop, hold on for a moment. Let me take you back to where the story began. In the 19th century, the British made efforts to abolish slave trade, ending the Portuguese dominance of the Niger Delta, with a new distinction between illegal slave trade and illegitimate trade in agricultural produce and natural raw products like palm oil, cassava, pepper, copper, and many others. A lot of European companies came into the Niger Delta for commerce. This new pattern of trade brought about a lot of problems, as these European companies now bypass the chiefs of the region, who prior to this time served as middlemen during the trade, thereby making some money in the process. During all the challenges and circumstances, Sir George Goldie, an English businessman, initiated negotiations that brought these several small British and European companies together into one company called United Africa Company in 1879. Goldie's UAC was then chartered by the British government in 1886 as the Royal Niger Company (RNC). The Royal Niger Company began to trade in territories of several communities with which European trade had previously been only indirect. With their trade monopoly, they went as far as molesting, killing, and seizing all Nembe trading canoes at the Niger Delta coast along Braz Nation, then referred to as Brave City States, and also the creeks, thereby cutting off the Braz middlemen of their legitimate trade. This led to the Akassa Raid of 1885, which is the most significant event of the Braz people, present-day Nembe and Braz local government areas of Bayelsa State. The late King Frederick William Koko Mingi VIII Amianabo of Nembe Kingdom, a true hero who was referred to as the king of the Braz people, could not withstand the injustice and oppression of his people, so he mobilized all the kings and chiefs of Nembe Kingdom to take action against the Royal Niger Company at Akassa. Together, they decided that it was better to die by the gun in battle than to die due to hunger. Late King Koko and the chiefs of all the towns in Braz Nation successfully launched an attack and raided the headquarters of the Royal Niger Company at Akassa on the fateful morning of 29 January 1895. Although the soldiers retaliated and attacked Nembe City on the 22nd of February 1895, late King Koko became the originator of the struggle for resource control and victim of external oppressions of the white man. It is said that the king committed suicide in order to hide the secrets of his kingdom from the British soldiers, thereby protecting his people. Late King Koko is now a legend. Thus, the ancient Nembe Kingdom had set aside the 29th of January every year to celebrate in remembrance of the courage and resilience exhibited by him and other kings and chiefs who planned and executed the historic war of liberating the Braz people from external domination and oppression. Some of the white men who died during the war were lieutenants and captains serving Britain. They were buried in this graveyard to preserve history and to tell this important story. Their tombs were erected by those of them that surrendered during the war. One of the things that is catchy for me is that the people fought, the king fought. They knew their rights. A lot of people said that they maltreat us because we don't know our rights. This story shows that King Frederick William Koko and the people of Namibia and Brat withstood and they held their ground to fight for what belongs to them. And I feel that's something that we should always do. We should always learn to fight for ourselves, fight for our brothers, hold on to what is our right, and not let anybody to be able to maltreat us or use us anyhow.
General.
A dog general.
Yeah, a dog general. A fighter.
The dog was a fighter.
The dog was a fighter now.
I suggest that schools in Nigeria should teach more about our history, including the stories of the Niger Delta. I believe that this place can serve as a lucrative tourism center. I also believe that if this was Rwanda or some other countries, they would have really utilized this story and historic site to generate revenue that will help the lives of people in the community and the country at large. I cite Rwanda intentionally because it is an African country and they are rapidly growing their tourism industry. I call on all our Nigerian leaders to wake up and see the value of our tourism sector and what it can contribute to the nation's economy. But most importantly, knowledge is power. And I am so glad that I can share this knowledge with you. If you want to visit this historic site, my friend Daniel in Braz Island can serve as a tour guide taking you there and to some other interesting places in the island. He may just pluck some mangoes for you if it is the season. He's good at that. So you can check the description for his details. I also appreciate my friends Numo and Dennis for assisting me. Thank you so much for watching our Niger Delta stories and for being part of our journey. I also believe that you are going to share this story with somebody and educate a fellow Nigerian or someone who loves to learn about our history so the person can know more about us. And then our Niger Delta Stories project is going to be on for 5 to 10 years. We are not stopping. We are telling more beautiful stories about our people. We are documenting our culture or documenting our history for the next generation to see and for the world to also understand that we are not all militants and people that are into crime and violence in the Niger Delta, that there is beauty in our land, in our people, and in our culture. Thank you so much for being part of the wonderful community that we are building of believers in the Niger Delta story. God bless. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Also check this playlist here to watch more interesting videos and see you on the next video. Thank you so much for supporting.